Hi, Lisa here again. Another little tips video for you today. I was recording the video that hopefully you may have already seen. If not, take a look at my channel on how I watercolour in my images using my watercolour pencils, and I was about to cut them out, and I thought, do you know what? I have been asked several times about cutting out images, and I know it seems really basic, but there are a few tips. I've done a lot of fussy cutting in my time, a lot of stamping and fussy cutting as well, so I just thought I'd give you a few tips on how I do it. I've actually stamped this on quite thick card. I don't know if you can hear it. It's actually better if you don't. It's better to stamp on thinner card because it's easier to cut, less likely to rip. The second tip I would have, particularly if you're doing what I've done now, which is to have watercoloured an image, is to let it dry. If you've got a damp page, it's going to rip or tear. Your scissors are going to find it harder to cut through. Next one is to get some good scissors. Now, I apologise in advance for the state of these, but these are my favourite scissors. They're a pair of X-cut ones. I have bought newer X-cut ones. Let me just grab them. There you go, I bought those. But, whilst I'm sure they're very good scissors, they are not my trusty old ones. I think the shape of those handles just work for me. So yeah, my old pink and white or grey ones. Don't go for too big scissors that are too big. You don't want to be doing this with your kitchen scissors. Equally, they've got to be comfortable. They've got to be a good grip. Right, next tip. Cut it out to size. Don't be doing this on a huge big piece of paper. Just be cutting on the piece that you need. Just makes life easier. But equally, you need something to hold on to, and particularly if you think you're going to smudge anything, make sure you've got a border to hold on to. Right, so let's get onto it. Now, what I do, my top tip really, is to move the paper or the card and not the scissors, because I'm sure I saw that on a crafting channel online or on TV, to be honest, and thought I'd try it, and you know what, it so works. It makes life so much easier to be just cutting out when you're moving the paper. No idea why it works, but it so does. You may well have a preference to going left to right or right to left. What I would say is you need to be able to see what you're cutting. So if you're cutting something out and you can't see the next bit, it's not going to work. So make sure you're cutting whichever way works for you to visualise it. And then, yeah, as you can see what I've done, I've cut off the bit that I'm doing so that I can go around it without being bothered by the other pieces. There we go, one little boy done. I don't know why I think it's a boy, but I do. Yeah, you'll notice as well that I've cut his whiskers off. I've done that because life's too short for cutting fiddly bits out, and if I really want the whiskers, I'll just stamp them onto the background of the page so that they're there. Right, I'm going to carry on. The next thing to just say is that you don't have to do it all in one go. This is not the peeling an apple challenge that you used to do when you were a kid, trying to get it all off in one go. Cut it off in bits. If you're going around one way and it's easier to do that edge first, do all the edges that go that way. You can always come back to the other bits later. Make your life as easy as possible. I do a lot of cutting the excess off, and I quite often leave myself a little bit to hold on to. It just makes life easier. Yeah, I also have been known to cut off feet, whiskers, the odd ear if it's too fiddly. Sometimes I can be bothered, sometimes I can't. Yeah, there we go. And lastly, don't worry about it. Do you know what? If you cut something off that you need, you can always stamp it again, or you can draw it in. I try and cut just inside the black line, so that I'm leaving the black line, but I'm not leaving any white. There are times when I go around and leave a white edge. Don't want to do that today, but excuse me. if you have left a little bit of white, you can always snip it out later. You can get a pen and go over it. Don't worry about it, it's all good. Yeah, so that's my little tips on cutting out. I hope that was useful. See you soon. Bye.